What happens when a personal health battle collides with a public scandal? For Khloé Kardashian, that question was hypothetical. It was lived reality. As the world watched headlines about Tristan Thompson and Jordyn Woods unfold, few knew the quiet storm raging inside Khloé's own body. Migraines, relentless and consuming, shadowed her every move. They struck in the still of night and in the middle of crowded rooms, blurring her vision and stealing her peace. Yet at the same time, she found herself forced to confront betrayal, heartbreak, and the suffocating glare of public judgment. It was more than a scandal. It was a test of her endurance, one that left her fighting battles on two fronts, against pain and against humiliation. The cameras captured the surface, an icy silence at family gatherings, a forced smile on social media. But they could not capture the pounding rhythm inside her skull, the throb that blurred her thoughts while everyone demanded answers. Migraines are invisible, but in this moment they became part of Khloé Kardashian's very public story. The Tristan and Jordyn scandal wasn't simply a gossip headline. It was a devastating betrayal. And for Khloé, the timing of her health struggles made it feel even more unbearable. Inside her home, blinds drawn against the California sun, Khloé often lay in silence, clutching her head as waves of pain rolled through her temples. At the very same time, text notifications exploded across her phone. The words Tristan and Jordyn buzzed again and again, each vibration puncturing her already fragile peace. The scandal had spilled everywhere, tabloids, talk shows, Twitter feeds, leaving her no space to recover, no room to breathe. As the story gained momentum, the betrayal became unavoidable. Tristan Thompson, the man she had shared love, loyalty, and a family with, was now linked in whispers and then in bold headlines to Jordyn Woods, a figure who was once considered part of the Kardashian inner circle. The hurt was layered. A partner's betrayal, a friend's disloyalty, and a migraine's crushing weight. The public consumed the drama with appetite, but few realized that Khloé's migraines intensified with every headline. Stress is one of the greatest triggers, and this scandal provided more than enough to fuel the storm inside her body. Her family circled around her, but even they seemed uncertain about how to navigate this intersection of personal pain and public scandal. Kim, furious and vocal, demanded accountability. Kourtney, pragmatic, urged her sister to detach, to retreat. Kris Jenner, ever the strategist, was torn between protecting her daughter and managing the family's image. But migraines cannot be managed with strategy. They did not bow to family discussions or public statements. They forced Khloé into silence, into solitude, into darkened rooms where whispers of betrayal replayed like echoes in her mind. The Tristan and Jordyn scandal unfolded rapidly, and with each development, Khloé's migraines mirrored the escalation. The night she learned the details firsthand, she was struck with blinding pain, one so severe she collapsed into bed, unable to process the betrayal in full. The day the tabloids splashed the story across front pages, her head throbbed so violently she couldn't finish filming her confessional. The more the world feasted on the story, the more her body revolted. It was as though her migraines became the physical embodiment of the stress she could not otherwise contain. And yet, despite the pounding in her head, Khloé Kardashian had to stand before the cameras. Keeping up with the Kardashians was not just a show. It was a machine, an empire, and her silence would not stop its gears. So she sat under hot lights, her eyes squinting against the glare, speaking carefully, deliberately, about pain and betrayal while silently fighting the stabbing ache that never seemed to leave her. To viewers, she looked strong, defiant, in control. Behind the scenes, she fought just to keep her balance, just to hold her sentences together. The scandal widened beyond Khloé's home, beyond her migraines. It spilled into friendships, into business deals, into the family's brand itself. Khloé became not just the betrayed partner but also the unwilling center of a media storm. Her migraines, though silent and unseen, threatened to unravel her ability to face it all. Doctors spoke of medications, of treatments, of rest. But how could she rest when betrayal demanded confrontation? How could she escape when the headlines followed her every step? Narrating her struggle was like tracing two overlapping storms, one internal, hidden from cameras, and one external, visible to the world. Both storms fed into each other, amplifying the pain, intensifying the sense of being trapped. For Khloé, the Tristan and Jordyn scandal wasn't simply about infidelity. It was about how public betrayal can invade private suffering, how the body itself can revolt under the weight of emotional devastation. In the quiet aftermath of each migraine, Khloé sat with questions that no headline could answer. Was this betrayal the end of her relationship with Tristan Thompson? Could she forgive Jordyn Woods, once so close to her family? Was her body warning her, through migraines, of the toll this life demanded? The scandal forced her into public reckoning, but her migraines forced her into private reflection. The two journeys collided, creating a portrait of a woman battling both heartbreak and health in real time. And as the days turned into weeks, the scandal did not fade. Tristan and Jordyn's names remained linked in whispers, while Khloé's name was paired with words like betrayed, humiliated, and broken. But beneath those labels, another truth existed. She was also a woman learning to endure pain, learning to stand tall even when her head screamed for silence, learning that survival sometimes means enduring both the betrayals you see and the battles you feel inside. Even years later, when the world remembers the Tristan and Jordyn scandal as another chapter in the Kardashian saga, what remains most striking is how Khloé carried the invisible weight. Migraines are not photographed. They do not trend on Twitter. They do not sell magazines. But for Khloé, they shaped how she lived through that storm. They made her scandal not just a story of betrayal, but a story of endurance. A reminder that even in the glare of cameras, some battles remain unseen, and yet they may be the hardest of all.